Parents should allow their children to play video games because they do not spark violence and aggression in them as many seem to believe. According to Procon.org, 97% of U.S. children ages 12 to 17 play video games. More than one-half of the 50 top-selling video games contain violence. Many of these video games are blamed for school shootings, bullying, and violence towards women. Also on Procon.org, it is said that they desensitize children to violence, reward for violence, and teach that violence is an acceptable way to respond to conflicts. In actuality, video games may have reduced crime rate and also provide safe outlets for aggressive and angry feelings for many people, but not only just children, but adults as well. Yes, children are very impressionable, but we need to use this time to teach them how to respond correctly to situations and react peacefully in times of conflict. You are the parent, and the console or gaming system is not. On April 20th, 1999, the Columbine High School shooting, which was done by 2 students who attended there, was blamed on the games Wolfenstein 3D and Doom, which were 2 very popular games that were out at the time. These boys were clearly dealing with psychological issues in the first place, it was later revealed, and though the games may have given them ideas for the very terrible acts that they committed, the games did not raise them. They knew right from wrong and chose wrong. Also on Procon.org, the Virginia Tech shooting that took place a few years back here in Virginia was also blamed on a video game. This video game, though, was Counter-Strike. Later on, they discovered that the man who did the shooting did not even play video games. This shows that people are very quick to blame the latest video games to use as an answer for people's violent actions, even when they are not even correlated with the person whatsoever. Computer and video game sales raised 204% from 1994 to 2014. Along with this, murders by juveniles fell 76% and violent crime rates dropped 37%. And this was also on Procon.org. Every evidence of video game violence being linked to aggression has only been later on called observation or speculation. And most people who do these violent acts that are blamed on games have psychological issues to begin with that people do not take account for but only blame the game. There are many perks for letting your child play video games. If your child suffers from dyslexia, video games have been proven to help. They decrease anxiety during painful medical experiences and procedures. Children with that have chemotherapy or other medical procedures, it has been shown to make them less uncomfortable and just make the whole situation easier. Your child may be happier overall than other children who do not play video games. Active video games increase physical activity. Some of these games include many games on the Wii console, such as bowling, tennis, and baseball, I believe. And last but not least, it does not negatively impact teens' academic performances, even though some or many people think that. And this was on the Advertiser and on Should Kids Be Playing Video Games? A look at the latest research. According to Monica Vila in 7 Reasons Why Your Kids Should Play Video Games teach problem solving, help your child to be more social, provide positive reinforcements, teach strategic thinking, build teamwork, improve hand-eye coordination, and bring families together. Something that goes along with the improvement of hand-eye coordination as well is that many people who have suffered from strokes have found that playing video games helps them recover from their recent stroke. Also, people with Parkinson's disease have discovered that playing video games helps them with that as well. According to Denise Uchiatz in Why Parents Should Let Their Children Play Video Games, some video games can spark interest in history and culture. A very good example of this is the Assassin's Creed series. The first game was set in place in the Crusades. The next 3 were set in the Italian Renaissance with the Ezio trilogy, and the next 3 were all set in the Americas. And these were typically during the American Revolution and later. Another reason by Denise Uchiat that children should play video games is that it shows leader traits in children and helps them discover if they like that and can help them decide on what they want to be when they're older. And you can also play with your children and have quality bonding time with them. In conclusion, parents should let their child play video games because there is very little to no evidence showing the violence being caused by them that many seem to believe exists.